Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Latin Voice. So today we have a little bit of change in our episode on our live. So today we don't have a guest, so we're gonna be talking about is building this online business easy. So we have several topics that we're gonna talk about that. But first, let's start to introduce ourselves. So Isabel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel Vargas. I'm originally from Mexico. I live here in the United States. I'm married. I have three children. I work as a teacher assistant, and I'm also a digital business owner.
Thank you, Isabel. Andrea.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea. I'm originally from Mexico. I live in Arizona, USA, and I'm married. And my husband and I are entrepreneurs. And besides our other businesses, I also own this digital business.
Thank you, Andrea. And my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama. I live in Surrey, BC, Canada. I work in the movie industry and I'm a digital business owner. Okay, so let's start with the first. So the question is building this online business easy? So our first topic is about the learning. So how was the learning for each one of us? Okay, I'll start. So for me, So for me, the learning, I think it was easy. There were sometimes, like there were some things that were a little bit. It wasn't difficult, but I think I needed to do a little bit more of research to understand it better. But otherwise, like I think it was easy. It's a the way that the training is set up for us to learn is step by step with video, so you can follow along. So if you have like another when I started, like I started just with my computer, so I got used to it. But then, like if you have an extra either, like a tablet or something, that's easier because you can put it on the side and then you put the video on the other side and you do it on your computer. So it's like super easy to follow along. So what about Isabel or Andrea? I don't know who wants to go first.
Okay. Well, for me, it was easy to understand. The training was easy to understand. My challenge was the technology part because I'm not tech savvy. Know nothing about computers, so I didn't know where to go. Like I had to repeat the same instruction a couple of times before I understood what to do and how to do it right. Because the training is very simple, but you have to follow it step by step. So I didn't want to mess up my steps, and I repeated the information a couple of times to make sure that I was doing it right.
Thank you,
Okay,
Isabel.
for me, it was easy as well, but just like Isabel, I'm not tech savvy. So I know Sandy's an expert, guys. So Sandy, she's tech savvy. But we're not. So that's what we always say. This business is for everybody, whether you're tech savvy or not. It was, and actually, I was very excited because I thought I was done with the training like very quickly. And then there were more screens. So and we all do it on our own time, right? So I did it. I did the first part of the training within a few weeks, and then the sometimes you get overwhelmed. And then I was like, this is a lot. This is a lot. And then I took my time. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna do this, next week, and I'm gonna do this next week, and so on, So because that, like I said, that at the beginning, I was so excited, so I was like doing like hours, like so many hours in one day, and then so many hours the next day, like a lot of hours, like every day, because I wanted to finish it. And just like Isabel said, sometimes you try to do everything so fast, and I'm so independent. I didn't want to ask my mentor for help because I'm the type of person that I don't learn. When someone tells me how to do something, I do not learn. You can tell me 10 times, but if I don't do it, I just don't learn it. So I was like, no, I'm not going to ask my mentor. And mentors are there. Like after that, I was like, oh, I'm going to ask her. And sometimes it was like something very, very simple. It was an easy fix. But at the beginning, I was like, no, I'm not going to bother her. I want to do it, myself. I want to do it alone. I want to figure it out. So it was hours, like sometimes to do something very, very simple, it took me hours. Like I said, I finished the first part of the training like very quickly. And then after that, I don't know how long it took me, but it took me a long time. So that's why we always tell people, we cannot tell you, you can set up, you can get started within a month, but everybody's going to be different. Because, some people do finish the training within a month. I almost finished my training within 3 weeks, but then after that, I took my time. So we're all going at our own pace. So it's hard to tell you, oh, you're going to start it in 1 month, because it depends on how fast you want to go.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple of things in there. Sorry, Isabel, you wanted to say something?
No, I just wanted to say it's funny because when I was doing my training, I was super careful because everybody keeps talking about like, make sure you follow the steps. You don't want to mess it up, whatever. So when I was doing my training, I was thinking I was doing it good, because I was taking my time. I was going slow. But come to find out that I did one of the tabs. I missed all the sub tabs on one tab. And then my mentor asked me, like, well, did you set up your page? And I was like, what page? I don't know. She's like, you should have done it by now. And so it's very crucial that you really follow the steps and you go tab by tab, but you got to do every sub tab in there and make sure that you follow each step. So that's what happened to me. I didn't mess anything up, but I skipped some of my training by
Yeah,
mistake.
sorry, Sandy, before you go. So just
Okay.
something in our business model, they keep improving every time, like all the time, according to the feedback, right, that we give.
Yeah.
So they're working on doing it in a certain way that you cannot go on if you don't do the first part first. Because
Yes.
most of us, they tell us, do not skip any steps. And just like Isabel says, I did that like the very first part, like within 3 weeks. And after that, I was like, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. And I would skip it. And they tell you, everybody tells you, do not skip any parts. And that's what happens. Sometimes we like, it's very difficult to do something very simple, and it's in the training, but we skipped it. So that's what they're doing it now. Like, you cannot follow, go to the next screen until you complete the first one.
Yes. So going back to what you say first, there were a couple of things that you mentioned there that were like important. So like the learning, see, we're talking about the learning. Each person learns different. And you were
Mhm.
mentioning like you have to do it yourself. So me too, like if someone teaches me, it's fine, they can teach me, but I have to do it to in order to for me to learn. Like that's how
Mhm.
I learn. So I think for anybody who wants to do the business and wants to follow the training, you really need to know how you learn, because that's the approach that you need
Mhm.
um to attack, no, well, that's not
To
the correct
take.
word, but
Yeah.
to take to do the training. So that's just one tip. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention that I related to you is like me too, I was like doing the training like really fast, going through the training. But where I got stuck was when I was starting the advertisement and I saw like it was too long. And I say like, oh my God, I thought that it was almost finished. And I got a little bit, like down. But that's, like when someone in the community told me, like you gotta have patience with yourself, like this business is about patience. And the training is really good because you learn a lot of stuff. Um, but like you say, you feel a little bit overwhelmed seeing that, like it's very long. But as you go through, you realize, okay, it wasn't that long. It's just that, like it's new stuff for us that we need to learn. But once we know it's not that long. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
everybody learns different. This is what people call hands-on. You have to do it yourself. You have to be the one clicking and the one doing the things to learn. And there's other people that you just tell them and they know how to do it. Like they don't even have to see it. So there's visual learning, there's hands-on, and there's people that just learn just from listening from other people. So
Yeah, that's true.
there's different types of learning, and we all know ourselves well to know like what kind of learning you're going to need. So when you have your mentor and they're telling you how to do things, you just have to be very outspoken and say, this is the way I learn. Like, give me time. I need to do it. You need to do it your way, because otherwise you're just going to be confused if you have somebody else trying to do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because everyone has a different way to learn things. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so next point. We touched a little bit about patience. Yeah, patience is a key on this
Mhm.
business.
Key
Because
factor.
yeah, it's a good factor. Thank you for the word. It is because like nothing happens like right away. Like it
Mhm.
takes time to build something. Um, so you got to understand that you have to have patience with yourself, impatient that the business will take off, but it doesn't take off right away. So you have to work hard, continue, be perseverant, resilient, to get there. Um, so I learned patience, like I mentioned before, on the going through my training. Like I got stuck in one time, and then that's when I realized, and then I said, okay, just let it go and be patient with yourself, and just keep doing your work, and then everything will go through. What about you, girls?
Well, Sandy, this is true about anything in life. When you're learning something new, you have to be patient. Even when you start a traditional business, you have to be patient as well, because it's not like you're gonna like if you open up a store, any kind of business, you don't expect the customer to show up the same hour that you open the door. I mean, this is all about, building a business takes time. Getting your customers takes time. So you just have to be patient about the time that it's going to take to actually get some business running, and patient with yourself in the training and the learning, because every day you're going to learn something new of how you can do it better. So you just
Mhm.
have to be there. You just have to be, very open-minded about the things that you can think of and you can come up with to learn on how you can do better every day.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. For me, guys, we're all different, right? But I've learned that I'm very different to a lot of people. I love I love reading, but I don't read a lot because sometimes we don't make the time or we don't have time, right? To me, I like watching videos, but like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. To me, the training, watching the videos, to me is like, oh my God, God gave me patience to finish this 10-minute video, to finish this 15-minute video because they're not too long. The meetings are long. They're like in an hour long, but sometimes they're very interesting and it's people interacting. So sometimes an hour goes by like pretty quick. Like when we have our conversations here, right? An
Yeah.
hour, 2 hours, like we could be here for 2 hours talking because we're interacting. So for me, that's okay. And then talking about everybody learns different and patience. So when I saw I like to get educated. So whenever I do something, I go to Google, I do my research, right? But I like reading instead of watching videos because the videos I have to go at their pace. That's not my pace. My pace is a lot faster. So to me, I've had to have a lot of patience to watch the videos from the training. I have to admit it. And sometimes people, like when they send me messages, they're like, oh no, but I don't want to watch a video, can you explain it to me? And I tell them, I get you, because I was on the same boat. But if you are willing to start a business, you have to invest not only capital, but you have to invest your time. So
Mhm.
when I did this business, I didn't even send a message to my mentor because I didn't want to hear the information from her. I was like, if there are videos, if there's information out there that I'm not gonna get from a person, I prefer to get it from a structured platform because I know it's gonna be more accurate. And I'm always looking for accuracy. I'm always looking for facts. I'm always, like I said, I'm always looking to get educated, to be informed. So even though I do not like to watch videos, I do not watch TV. I do not watch movies that often because like I said, an hour for me, like sitting down to, it's like too much. So yes, so my patience with this business has been like, yeah, I'll have to watch the videos. But my dreams, and I always say my dreams are bigger than my patience. So I'm like, I'm testing my patience and I have to watch those videos because if I want to learn, I have to watch those videos. So that's why I tell people, I understand even if you don't want to watch the videos and if you're not willing to take an hour of your time, because let's be honest, most of us say, I don't have time. And maybe we don't have the time, but when we're interested in something, we make the time. We find a way and we make the time.
Yeah.
So so that's my thing with patience. I mean, I don't have a lot of patience, but this like watching like a 15-minute video to me is like, oh my God.
Yeah, sometimes like I will use the speed of the video to put it a little bit faster, so
Oh, see, I've never done that. See, Sandy, I should have asked you before.
yeah, because it depends. Like some videos are like the speed is good, but some videos the speed is like very slow, and then like I needed to be a little bit faster,
You're
because
right.
too
Yeah.
slow pace for me. Yeah. Okay, I think we have some comments here. Let's see. Oh, Jesse. Hello, Jesse.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
Thank you for watching.
Jesse. Hope you feel better, girl.
Yes.
Yeah, feel
Um,
better.
we also have Ernest. Hola. Hi, Ernest. Thank you
Hi,
for
Ernest.
watching. If you can comment on put on the comments where are you watching from?
Yeah, and if you have any questions,
Yes, that too. Okay, so the next one is persistence.
That's an
So
interesting one. That's
yeah,
a big one for this business. In life in general, you have to be persistent if you want to get or if you want to meet your goals. Like anybody that is trying to build something in life, if you're trying to, change your life to something better, if you're trying to have a better life for your family, if you just want to move on from where you are now, persistence. Like things don't happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. You have to be persistent every day. You have to be working on your goal. Every day you have to do something that is going to get you closer to it. Because if you give up, like if let's say that, oh, I already did that last week. I don't feel like doing it anymore. I'm over. That's not going to get you anywhere. So
mm,
persistence is a key factor in this business and in life. Like you just have to keep going and you have to find the energy and you have to find it in you because you're the one who wants to meet their goals. You can't blame it on somebody else. You can't wait, just sit on the couch and wait and say, well, somebody else is going to come and change my life because it's not going to happen. You're the one responsible for making that happen, and therefore you have to work for it.
yeah. Thank you, Sabal.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with persistence. It's not only like doing the business, but also like it's something that with your life, like whatever you want to do in life, like you have, like for example, I'll give you an example on like for to get into the union where I work in the movie industry. It was I think it's probably like 1 or 2 years that it took me to be able to get to the union. So that's a good example of persistence. I didn't give up. It was hard. It wasn't easy, but I keep persisting, and keep doing and working until like eventually I was able to get into the union. So the same thing for the business. Um, we keep doing the business, until eventually we get to the point that we want, and then we keep going. But if we stop doing it just because we see like, oh my god, that's too far away, I'm gonna stop. That's not gonna take you anywhere. So you have to be persistent and keep in mind that goal that you want to do, whatever you want to reach. So that's part of the mindset too, to have for the persistence. Yeah.
Andrea, just before you go, um, you don't want to waste your time or you don't want to just sit around and give up on something because just think about it. To start a business, yes, it's going to take time to see your benefits to see that it's doing well, whatever. But think about it this way: how many years have you been working for somebody else? How long have you been doing that? And you keep doing it over and over again, and you're making their dreams come true. But where is your dreams? If you're not doing anything about your dreams, so don't give up. Keep persisting. Keep working at it.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
example. Yes.
yeah, persistence. Just like Isabel said, Sandy said, it's not just about this business, it's in life. You have to be persistent in life. Even as a kid, as a child, when you're learning how to walk, you have to be persistent. And kids, they know, I mean, naturally, they know that. They don't even comprehend yet. Well, they know that in order to be able to walk, they have to try many times. They have to fall and they have to get up and they have to try again. It's like absolutely everything in life. It's working out. When you work out, you know that if you want to see results, you have to go to the gym often. I struggle with that too. I'm very consistent. I'm very disciplined when it comes to my work, but when it comes to my jobs, businesses, whatever. But when it comes to working out, to exercising, I'm really bad at being consistent. Well, I do not get the results that I want because I'm not consistent. I don't persist. So you need that for absolutely everything in life. But unfortunately, sometimes like people think that if you start a business, you're going to see results in a month or
Hmm.
2 months. And I know because people have sent me messages and they ask me, "Oh, how much am I gonna get paid? When am I gonna get paid?" And I'm like, "Do not get confused. This is not a job. This is a business. So you have to build your business. We don't know how long it's gonna take you. So you have to be persistent because everything in life is same thing when you go to a job. You're learning because you don't know everything. Even if you did a career, when you do your career, when you go to university, you have to be persistent in whatever you're doing. So when you do a job and if they teach you how to do something and you can't do it, and if you give up, they're gonna fire you. you know they're gonna fire you and you're gonna fail. But what do? You're persistent. You keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying until you master that. It's the same with this business, with any other business. But unfortunately, sometimes because it's online, I don't know why a lot of people think like it's online and I'm gonna start making money like this. It may happen for some people, happen faster than others, but it depends. It depends on how hard you work, on how much time you did, how persistent you are, on everything, and a lot of factors.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so I think we have one. Oh, okay. Ernest, he say he's from Lagos State, Nigeria. Thank you, Ernest.
Wow, from
Wow, what's your
Nigeria. Nice.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next one, adaptation. This one is a good one. Because like if we talk about technology, we have to keep up
Mm,
with the technology. So that means that we need to adapt to the changes. If you're someone who is used to do one thing, this doesn't work in a business because you need to adapt. And well, we're going to be talking later about strategy, but I think adaptation is part of the strategy too, because um, but I'm not going to go in depth because we're going to touch it later. But yeah, you need to adapt to the different um, things that comes your way, because if you don't adapt, then you're not able to be better at what you're doing. um, I don't know, you guys want to add something else? See if comes up.
yeah, to me, like all these points are very important for everything in life. Adaptation. And for example, that unless maybe you work at a warehouse, I don't know. And well, even my husband, he worked at a warehouse once. You have to adapt everywhere, everywhere. Why?
Mhm.
Because technology is constantly changing. My last job was as an insurance agent. I was selling insurance for cars. Oh my God. the insurance companies, and we had many insurance companies, they kept changing, they kept innovating like very, very often. So we
Hmm.
constantly had to be learning new systems, you know, and here, yes, things are changing, but believe me, nothing compared to, and I've shared it before for my followers, they know, like to me, that's been one of the hardest jobs that I've ever had as an insurance agent. Really hard because no, but and us, because we did not work only with one insurance company, we worked with like many insurance companies, so we constantly had to be adapting to their systems, and it wasn't only one system, it was like many different systems, and that was very frustrating for me because I was just working part-time, so it was very hard for me keeping up with everything as working part-time. So you either learn to adapt, you know, either in this business, those jobs, or whatever job you're at. And I was at many other jobs before, and guess what? They had systems and they became obsolete. At one point, a system, they become obsolete because technology is constantly changing. And then you have to adapt to the new technology. Um, COVID, you know, when COVID hit, what did we have to do? We had to adapt to the
Yeah.
new way of working online. And that's why, you know, there's a lot of online businesses, and there were a lot of online businesses before, but when COVID hit, like it was a boom. And what happens now, a lot of people are getting used to work from home. A lot of, and I have a friend, and she works in the medical field, and she started working from home a few months ago, and she's like, oh my god, I love it. And I'm like, yeah, you get used to it, you know, you get used to working from the comfort of your home, or working from anywhere you can. So when, if you ever have to go back, you're like, I don't want to go back, you know, because you already tried. You know, when you try something good, you don't want to go back to something that's, not saying that's not good, but you've already compared it.
Hmm.
So once you've compared it, it's like really hard. And like it's, I think everything is changing, not just in this business, everywhere.
Yeah, I sorry, Isabel. I agree with you in terms of like changing technology. Like I've seen that on even the movies industry, you know, because we use different applications for our paperwork, and I've seen like some of the applications how they have evolved, and in order to make things better, to make things faster, you know, and you have to learn these new technologies and adapt to the new technology, you know. And then when you move from one production to the other, they sometimes they don't use the same applications, and you have to learn to the other one, so you end up or learning like different applications when you move to one production to the other one. So you, yeah, you need to adapt to different things that comes your way.
Yeah.
Well,
Go
in
ahead,
our
Isabel.
business, we have to adapt as well because we keep getting updates in the system. You know, the platforms that we use, they keep doing updates. So we have to adapt to that. And we have to adapt to, you know, we recently did a bunch of changes in our funnels as well. So adaptation is very important in life as well because you have to adapt. Like right now, everything is AI, you know, and you either learn it and go with it, or you're just going to stay behind and you're not going to know about it. And it's always good to adapt to new things because it will help you as a person to, it helps you grow and it helps you stay in what's new, what's going on. And especially if you have kids, because everything is changing as well for them in education. Yeah, they keep using new tools, new platforms, new things that you want to be there with them and you want to tell them what's safe to use and what's not safe to use. So adoption is just one of those things in life that you want to be, you know, in there and you want to be learning. So adoption is, I will say, is another key factor that we have to learn. You know, we have to be there. We have to just adapt.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. You talk about the parents who have kids, and they need to keep up with the technology, because otherwise, you know, like they're not going to be able to help the kids or supervise, you know, what they see on the internet, you know, because it
Yeah.
will know more than them. And you also mentioned, Andrea, about the COVID which is a very good example of adaptation. I mean, that was easy, that was not too bad for some people, but it was very hard for other people
Oh my God. Yes,
when
definitely.
that time came. Yeah, because it was a huge drastical change for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
depending, like
Yeah.
if they were like very social, because some people are very social. So being isolated was very hard. So that's, like when Zoom and all that came, like important for people to talk through the videos, and communicate with the people that way. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And like us, when we started the business, I'm going to talk about myself because I know there's many people out there that don't know anything or not tech savvy. I had to adapt to this. I didn't know anything about technology, social media, and I had to adapt. I was very shy at the beginning. I didn't want to do any lives. I didn't want to speak in front of the camera. But at the end, I'm working for my dreams, and I'm like, it's either I'm gonna do it or I'm just gonna fail from the beginning. And I'm like, I'm done. I gotta step on it, and I gotta start doing it. So that was another way I had to adapt to new things. And many people use that as an excuse, like, oh, I don't do it because I don't do social media. Like, I don't talk in front of a camera. But at the end is, what are your dreams worth? Where do you want to get? Like, you either have to go with it or you just have to keep doing what you're doing now and live that cycle year after year.
yeah, that's a good point. I cannot relate to that in a way. No, not with the business. Like before I started the business, and like I always been looking for something, like to be able to have like an side of income. So um, there was one time that I started a YouTube channel, but like I say, I'm very shy. Like I'm a very shy person, and I don't like to be like in front of the camera. So I was like recording my voice, but even recording my voice, I was so shy to record it. So for me, it was very hard at the beginning to record my voice and then hear my voice. But I had to do it because that was the only way that, like I wanted to be able to learn some income, from YouTube. So that's why I was doing it. So when I came to this business, that part was easy for me. But then when I had to record myself, like in the videos, because I didn't do it with my YouTube videos, that was a little bit challenging. So I was recording first. I started recording myself first on video, and then I had to do a lot of takes, and then eventually I got used to. But because I was watching myself, so it was like me talking to myself, so I got used to that. But then like when you do it live, that's a different thing. And then when I see someone that was watching me, I got like I
Distracted.
distracted, yes. And then
It
what
happened
I
to me.
wanted to say, I couldn't remember what to say. So yeah, so it was hard to me, but I think I'm getting better now, like I don't feel that way, but yeah, but it was hard to adapt, but yes.
Yeah, no, funny that you're saying that because I'm like, I'm not too shy, but it was hard for me to do lives. It was hard. It's so different when you talk to you in. I'm very social. I talk to a lot of people, but it's different than coming on camera. And then I was like, oh, I feel comfortable, but with no one around. You know, when there's no one around. So
Yeah.
so you are adapting little by little. And I was
Hmm.
like, and I would tell my husband, oh, go away, go do something else, because I just felt uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
then just like you said, I would see somebody watching me and I was like, what was I saying? So now I just don't pay attention to it. So I'm like, if I see a comment, I'll see it, but I don't see like if somebody's watching and those things because I'm like we're still adapting, we're still going through that process. And sometimes when you're in an interview with other people that you've never been in an interview with, sometimes you still get nervous, you know
Yes.
Yeah.
it's like little by little you adapt little by little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
a Okay, go ahead, Isabel.
And Sandy, every time we're talking and we're listening to our recordings and I hear myself, I don't like to hear my voice. Like it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't connect with me. It's like it's a different person. So, every time when I hear myself, I'm like, I don't want to watch it. It's just not, it doesn't feel right. So I'm still working on that, but yeah, I just don't like hearing myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one thing that I think I still need to work is, like a lot of business owners in the community, they do lives, like outside, like normal recording. That, like, when I record, I make sure there's not too many people, and then I record like, and I'm still very shy myself, but yeah, I think that's something that I need to overcome, that,
Mhm.
shyness to do that. But yeah,
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
guys
No, I
still
was
feeling
like that at the
comfortable?
beginning, Sandy. I was like that, like you, like, no, not too many people. I got over it. But no, some days I still get nervous, and I don't know what it is. I can do lives even if there's a lot of people, but sometimes I get nervous.
I guess it just depends on who we know is watching and who's there, because I recently had one of those episodes where my heart started racing. I couldn't remember anything. I didn't know what to say, and I was like, like I couldn't breathe. So it just depends. It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the next topic is resourcefulness. So this one is a good one. So like you were saying before, Andrea, that like you like to be independent. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Like sometimes when I see something on the training, or sometimes like for example, when I did it on an ad on YouTube, and then I got like flagged, and then I started to search, like the different things. Why was the reason? Like you gotta, on the business, you have to be a little bit resourcefulness. I mean, yes, you can ask your mentor, but first try to find it yourself. So do we have, like, these days you can find anything on YouTube, YouTube or Google. Like, you just type it in and then you find it. And then YouTube is great because they have the videos, so they show you step by step how to do things. So yeah, so I for example, on that one, like I started researching, like what were the reasons why, I got flagged. And then after that, like when you exhaust all your resources, that's when you look for the extra help. And and sometimes you don't have to rely on only one answer. Try to get as many answers as you can to see if they all come to the same, because like, even though someone sometimes is trying to help you, sometimes their answer might not be the correct one. So it's always to do a lot of research before you take the final decision, depending on what is your situation, of course. you know so that's just a tip.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, no, I agree. I agree with you. You have to be resourceful. In this business and a lot of businesses, like I said, we are entrepreneurs. My husband and I, we have other businesses. We have learned to be resourceful. We
Yeah.
have the trainings. We have our mentor, coaches. We have our friends. Like, you know, we're friends. We have each other. But who wants, or at least I'm not the type of person, I don't want to be texting somebody every day,
Mhm.
because we all have a life, right? We all have things to do. Like in our case, in our other business, we have an accountant, and we have accountants. We have one here and we have one in Mexico. Even if we, and actually, one of the other things that I like about this business, we have a system when if we send a message to one of the coaches, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, girls, I believe they have 48 hours to respond to us, which I love. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 48 hours.
Yeah, it is.
And whenever I call offices here and in Mexico or whatever, sometimes I'm not lying, I never hear back from them.
Mhm.
I never hear back from them. And of course, if it's something that I can, and just calling an office to be, because I'm trying to be resourceful, calling an office just to try to get some information, never hear back from them because I'm not their customer. And even with the ones where I'm their customers, with let's say our accountants, and I'm just putting that as an example, they're gonna get back to us whenever they have time. And sometimes, believe me, they don't do it within 48 hours. you know
Yeah.
Sometimes, oh, I'll get back to you next week. And, and next week you're like, oh, hey, you haven't gotten back to me. And I need this answer, and that. So you have to be resourceful. And sometimes, like I said, I understand they're busy. So even though we're paying for a service, here we're not in this digital business, we're not paying for that.
Hmm.
There's a one-time investment, and one fee that we pay when we start, and everything is included, like all the meetings, all the support, and everything. And so we try to be resourceful. But like I said, even in other businesses, even though when you're paying for the service, you still have to learn to be resourceful, because not everybody's going to be there for you when you need it, when you need an answer, if it's urgent or whatever. And if it's urgent, they may be there for you. But if it's not, you're going to have to wait for your turn. And if you guys know, if you have a lawyer, you're just another case that is piled up.
Hmm.
If you have like a lot of services that we get, so sometimes we have to be resourceful, like the internet is there, go to Google, go to YouTube, go to whatever, and look for your answers, if you don't want to be waiting all that time. So to me, being resourceful is very, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're lucky in this business because we have our main source of resource, which is our training. That's our resource. Every single answer is in that training. Whatever you're looking for, we have tabs, and you just go to whatever tab that you're looking for, and you can find your answer. Sometimes you may not be looking in the right place, or it may be that the answer is not there, and that's why you have a mentor. But like Sandy said, first you need to find where to look for the information before you go to a person. And I think I was bad, I think, because I was asking my mentor all the time, I like, where can I find this? And she would give me the answer. She didn't send me to the training, but now I have come to learn that you have to go to the training first. And then if you don't find it there, you go to your mentor. But I was, like I said, I was a little different because I didn't know anything about technology. And every time I freaked out when I didn't know anything, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Let me just ask her. And, I went the easy way. But if you really and truly want to learn, you have to go to the research. You have to go to the place where you can find your answer. At least try. And then if you can't, then you go to a person. And you can go to your mentor, you can go to the coach, or you can reach out to somebody else in the community, and somebody will be either to give you the answer or to tell you where to go find it. Because, a lot of us, just for your own benefit, will tell you, okay, go to the training, it's in this tab, instead of giving you the answer.
Yeah. Talking about that, many times people ask questions that the answer is on the training, but the reason they ask is because they haven't done the training. So they want to skip and they want somebody else, like you say, like the easy way to tell them how to do it. But everything is on the training, but they just didn't want to follow the training. Sometimes they want to skip tabs. So that's why, like you have to follow the training step by step, because if you don't follow, then sometimes you're gonna skip something, and then because skipping that, um, you will encounter some problems in the future, depending, like what you're doing. Like if we're talking about, like for example, let's say Facebook, we have a step by step that we need to follow in order so we don't have problems doing, like advertising on Facebook and that kind of stuff, right? So um, it's very important that you have to follow the training step by step. Yes, you can go fast, like overlook the stuff that is like ahead of time, just to have an idea. But it's important to follow the training, because that's how you're going to get the base on the business, the fundamental base.
Yes.
Okay. Strategy. Yeah, this one is good. This one is the one that I was talking about adaptability, that goes along with strategy, especially when you're doing business. I guess you probably have some strategies on your business and you have to adapt and modify, right? As a business, especially how do you call it, the brick and mortar?
Brick and mortar. Uh-huh.
Yes. Because you have to deal with competition, you have to deal with, like how you can attract more customers. So you need to create like a strategy, and that strategy is not like a fixed strategy. You have to keep modifying, depending, what's changing and that kind of stuff. So the same thing goes to our business. um, we have a strategy, but sometimes, like we need to tweak it a little bit, depending on, okay, this is not working, so let's see how I can make it better, you know so a strategy on a business is very important, to create a plan and keep modifying it as you go along.
Right, right. And again, like you're saying, adapting and strategy, they go together. They go
Yes.
together because at the beginning, I was doing it differently. And what works for one person may not work for another person. And that's why we have those weekly masterminds where they teach us so many different strategies. So you get to pick the one that best fits for you, the one with that goes with your personality. Just like we were saying here about lives, neither one of us felt comfortable doing lives at the beginning. You know, we were looking for a strategy. Okay, I want to do a life, even though there's very successful people that, that they're very successful without doing go lives. Our strategy wanted to, like my strategy I wanted to do go lives. I'm like, I can talk. So I want to take advantage of that I can talk. I'm like, maybe other people don't want to do go lives because they don't feel comfortable talking. But I was like, I feel comfortable talking. I just didn't feel comfortable being in front of the camera. So I was like, I was looking for a strategy, to be able to do go lives. Some people do lives every day. That didn't work for me. I did a 10-day go live challenge, and it was very hard for me because I'm just very hard. I'm so used to doing things whenever time allows it. So it was like, oh, I have to do, and sometimes it would be like 8 p.m. and I hadn't done it for that day, and I was like, okay, I have to do it now, before the next day, because if I start something, I want to finish it. Um, so strategy is about doing something that works for you. Because yes, you can go out of your way, and I think all of us here in this business and in a lot of businesses, we go out of our comfort zone to look for strategies. This is a marketing business, so you have to expose the business, in order to do marketing. So you have to look for strategies and take advantage that this is a global business. You can promote anywhere, not just in one state, not just in one country, but in many countries. So we all get to decide our strategy. Okay, I want to do it just in Arizona? Do I want to do it in the United States? Do I want to do it in the whole world? So we get to decide, what strategy. And if that strategy that we try to use didn't work for us, we have to change it. Because there's a saying too, if you keep doing the same thing and you're expecting to get different result, yes, a different result. You're not going to get a different result if you keep doing the same thing. You're going to get the same result. So you have to change your strategy. And then, like you were saying, Sandy, yes, we have a brick and mortar business, and the business that we've had the longest has been 7 years. You guys have no idea how many times we have changed our strategies, to
Yeah.
be able to be in the business for this long. And still, even until this day, we still face challenges. We still have to keep changing our strategies. So it's the same thing with this business, just about learning to adapting. And if you have to change your strategies, changing your strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strategies is another essential part of life. Like just for anything, you need a strategy, for your daily routine, you need a strategy, you need to have something in place. So it's not any different for the business. You need to have a strategy. Maybe you try something and you've been doing it for a couple weeks, months, and you're not seeing any results. Well, maybe it's time for you to change your strategy. What else can you do? Think out of the box. Okay, I already did this. And a lot of times it's good to track and see what you're doing. That way you can go back and see where you're messing up, where your challenge is. So strategies are something that we have. Sometimes we set them, but you don't have to keep doing the same one. You can always change. Life is ever changing, so just keep changing till you find the right one. And it may take time, guys, because it's all about trying. You have to try something different every time to keep going, to keep moving forward. So um, don't give up too soon, and just instead try something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to be specific about this business, one strategy that I used that didn't work for me was a lot of people were saying, oh, I promote in Canada, Australia, US, and I don't remember what two other countries. I tried doing that, and that didn't work for me at all. That did not work for me at all. And a lot of people are saying that works for me, but it didn't work for me. So I had to change my strategy, and I had to promote only in the US. So that's what I'm saying. What works for one person doesn't work for somebody else. And it's just very, very specific to this business that we're so lucky that we can promote everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the business are just anything. It's not like a cookie cutter that you just keep doing the same cut every single time. You have to keep doing different. You have to try different things. And we already said this. So it's just up to you. What are you willing to do? Sometimes, yes, it's hard, it's difficult, it may be overwhelming. Okay, what do I try now? What else can I do? But you have to keep doing it. You have to think positive and think that you're going to get there, and you're going to find the right solution to the right strategy to the things that you want to achieve.
Yeah. And talking also, like when as a mentor, like when it comes to your mentees, like you need to find like strategy for them according to their needs,
Mhm.
according to what. So, so strategy really plays a big role in this business because it's not only about your strategy, but also the strategies of others, that you're trying to help. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So the next one, resilience. This, this is kind of like, I would say kind of similar like a perseverant, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perseverance.
Yeah, you have to me, that's like, for example, if you go through a really hard time,
Mhm.
and that's what we're saying, that this business and everything life, I mean, like almost everything applies to life. Everything
Mhm.
applies to life, because, and that's what we always say it. This business is so amazing. You can get results soon, but we cannot tell you, oh, you're gonna get the same results that I'm getting, because we cannot guarantee it. And everybody has different adaptability, everybody has a different level of resilience, everybody has a different level. Some people give up very quickly, and it's just, again, like going to the gym. I give up, I go to the gym like 2 or 3 a month a year. Some people have been going to the gym for years nonstop. Other people's go just in January. We always hear that. We always hear that. So it's resilient to me is like, you're gonna face problems, but you're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep going. And with this business, we've said it before. One of the things is motivation, because sometimes you see someone getting results very fast, and then you're like, oh, they're getting results very fast, but I'm not. But again, we don't know how hard that person is working. And so that's why it's very hard to compare. And Isabel and I were talking once, the grass always looks greener on the other side. We don't know what that person really went through to get there. There's some people who were doing the 90-day challenge. I tried to do it, but I'm going to be very honest. I didn't do it like it was supposed to be done. Some people like close their doors, don't talk to anybody, don't see their families, don't talk to their friends for 90 days. for 90 days. And those people, they get results very quickly, but they had that resilience of going, even if I'm sure they had problems. We do not know everybody's journey. It's until you talk to that person. And that I always say, like, people see me, we see Isabel, we see Sandy, we do not know what they've been going through. We don't know. And just by talking, on social media for a few hours a day, or a week or whatever, we do not know the problems that they had to overcome to get to where they're at. So yes, you definitely need to just keep going, because it's almost like a fact that you're gonna face challenges and that you're gonna have problems in this business and in life. How nice it would be, like, saying, "Oh, people are starting this business and they're not having any problems." That's not how life is. It's impossible, I would say.
Yeah, no, it's right. Yeah, even, like if you're talking, like outside of the business, like doing, like the jobs, you have to be sometimes in some places like very resilient, and sometimes like a lot of people do it because, like that's the only way to for them to bring their income. So they have to be resilient in that job, until, they're able to be better. So yeah, resilience is very important, and in the business too, because if you get not motivated, you're gonna quit, and that's not, like, all the efforts that you have made to do the business and to be able to do your goal, you're gonna waste it just in a flip of a second, and that's not what you want. I mean, you want it to keep going and to reach those goals. So you have to learn to be resilient, and you got to find ways to keep you motivated, to keep you plug in into the system, so it's either like we have like the masterminds that really helps with hearing the all the other stories from the business owners that have reached, their milestones. And that's when we see, like their stories, we hear their stories, and we say, wow, we thought that, like our story was bad, but they went through worst, and look where they are right now. So if they didn't, we can do it too, so, or, like you can watch motivational videos and keep you motivated that way too, and reading books and that, like right now, like you can find like audiobooks, like if you don't like to read, there's audiobooks that you can hear, and there's so many on YouTube that you can hear that are so good. So yeah, so just um resilience is for anything, not only in the business but also in your life. So it's important. You wanted to say
Yeah.
something, Isabel?
Well, I was just gonna say, again, like Andrea said it before, just about everything that we're talking here is it applies to life in general.
Mm-hmm.
But this business is not like we don't get the same results in the same time frame. Everybody gets different results based on the time and the effort that you're putting in the business. And also, you have to surround yourself with the right people. You want to be surrounded with positive people. You don't want to be surrounded with negative people that are pulling you down. You want to, like, you want to see and meet the people that have the same minded goals as you do, and stick with them, because they're going to pull you up and they're going to take you with them. They're going to show you ways of how you can do it different. So just being resilient means you keep trying, keep plugging in, you keep staying at it. And sometimes you have to give up a lot of the hobbies, a lot of the people. You have to give up a lot
Mm-hmm.
uh, to keep doing this business. It's not about, yes, you gain a lot of knowledge, you gain a lot of new friendships, you gain a lot, but also you have to give up the things that are not adding value to your life. This is a key thing for this business. Like, for me, it was hard at the beginning because I had a lot of things I was doing in life that gave me nothing in return, but I love doing them because I'm very athletic. I like to play sports. And we always went out and played. Like we had certain days, like on Monday we went out and played something. On Thursdays we went out and played something else. So I used to play volleyball. I used to play pickleball, and it's something that we had set like with friends and family that we went out and did this every day of the week. But now, from months back, I gave that up because instead of doing that, I can be working on my business. I can be coming up with things I can change to see results in my business. So, yes, just being resilient means a lot, giving up and learning and just staying strong to the hard times that you have to go through when you start something, because you're not going to see results right away. And if you do, and if you're one of those lucky ones that you do see results, because there is people that
Mhm.
see that, then that's great for you. But for some of us, you just have to work hard to see the results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good thing that you mentioned there about, like sometimes we need to give up our like our hobbies, the things that we love
Mhm.
to do. But that doesn't mean that we're giving them forever. It's just
Right.
temporarily until we reach what we wanna, and
Mhm.
like to reach that level that we want, and then we can enjoy all that, with our
Mhm.
loved ones and ourselves.
You can enjoy that and more after, but you have to put in
Yes.
some work
Exactly.
first.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is dedication. we we cannot touch a little bit about that too. Be dedicated, like for example, like the training, be dedicated to do the training, dedicated for, like for example, show up on your business every day, so like if you do it for in your job, why you don't do it for your own business, that all the 100% profit comes to you and not to the other person. So dedication is something that is very important to do, and to have as a quality, um, because you have to show up for your business every day. You have to post every day, like in your social media. So that's the only way that people will get to know you, and get to know about your business. So it's very important. You wanted to say something, Andrea?
There was a bug here.
Oh,
When you're done.
okay, I'm done.
Uh, yeah, dedication, of course. Yes, you need to be dedicated with everything that you do. Again, and this business, yes, and that's to me, that's one of the hardest things with an online business.
Mhm.
I don't know why a lot of people think online is super easy and I don't have to work. You know, a lot of people think that, and why? Well, why do I think that? Because people send me messages, thousands of messages, and most people don't want to watch the videos. And I'm like, how do you expect to do a business if you don't want to invest time?
Yeah.
How are you going to do a business if you don't want to learn what the business is about? How are you going to do a business if you don't want to educate yourself? That's dedication.
Hmm.
you know you have to dedicate your time. You have to work on the business. And we've talked about this before. Like, if somebody tells you, and I've seen actually a lot of those posts lately, oh, come with me, come join my team, and I'll show you the formula to get so many people to join your business, and you don't have to work hard. And I'm like, and they're so convincing. They almost make me fall. But I'm like, I know it's not true. I know it's not true. And like, and I also said before, one of the things that convinced me to do this business is when you watch the trainings, when you watch the videos, they tell you it's not like you're gonna push a button and you're gonna get rich.
Yeah.
Because we always said it too. There's people that there are millionaires thanks to this business. But we're not going to tell you, oh, you come with me and you're going to become a millionaire. We can't do that. It's not ethical and it's not true. It's
Mhm.
not true that because I'm telling you, you're going to do it. You may do it. You may become a millionaire with this business, but it's going to be on you. Like someone else says, if you succeed, it's your fault. If you fail, it's your fault. So same thing. If I succeed, it's my fault. If I fail, it's my fault. It's not gonna be my mentor's coach. It's not gonna be my coach's fault. It's not gonna be the business fault. It's gonna be my fault because we either dedicate time to our business or we let it fall. And but that's what a lot of people believe of an online business. Oh, I'm just gonna like take a picture and I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna take a picture and post it and make money. No, there's a reason, we're doing attraction marketing. There's a reason why we're posting every day. Like I was doing it live like a few weeks ago, and one of my followers told me, I see you everywhere. So that's the reason of us posting daily. Because if you start your business and you post once a month, guess what? Those posts are not gonna reach people. They're
Mhm.
probably gonna reach 3 people. And of those 3 people, maybe one person will see it. So the purpose of us posting every day is that you're reaching people every day. So you may not reach somebody today, but you'll reach that person tomorrow. And if you don't reach that person tomorrow, it will be the day after tomorrow. So this is how marketing works. And so it's talking about dedication. Oh, I have to do my marketing today. This is what I'm doing. I started this business to do marketing. I started this online business. I have to work online. I have to show up for my business today. And we have to do it just like you said, Sandy. If you show up to work every day, why are you going to do this online business once a month and expect to get the results that a lot of people are getting, that successful people are getting, if we're only showing up once a month? But we don't see that they're showing up every day. They're doing lives every day. They're having meetings every day. We don't see all the time. And sometimes, and we've seen it, some people complain, but they're not showing up for their business. They're not. And I'm like, how can you complain if you're not showing up for your business? How can you expect results if you're not doing something? It's like, again, all those messages that I get, like a lot of people, how can they start up? And I've told some of them, I'm like, I cannot explain how a business works in 5 minutes. It's just impossible. Even if I write it down, it's not going to take you 5 minutes to read the whole thing about how the business works. It's, if you ask me about the dealership, we have a dealership. Sometimes we talk about the basic stuff and it takes us about an hour, 2 hours just to try to do a sale. Sometimes 3 hours. Sometimes customers are there with us for 4 hours and they don't purchase the car. And we're not telling them how we're doing our business. We're just explaining them how we work, how the guarantee for that. And we're dedicating that time to our customer, even if we know that they may not purchase. We know there's a possibility that they may and they may not. But, they want information and they want information. So it takes like sometimes an hour to 2 hours to give information. When they're going to do the deal, it takes about 4 hours because you're talking about so many things. So we are dedicating our time. We're working there with showing up for our customers. So with this online business, it's like you have everything there at your fingertips. You can watch the videos whenever you have a chance. You don't have to be stuck with me for 3 hours. You can watch the video 30 minutes, and then the next day you can watch another 30 minutes. So don't expect me to be there 3 hours with you, because the reason why many of us signed up is like in my case, you guys have jobs, we have other businesses. I cannot be 3 hours, like if we get 5-10 messages during the day, there's not enough time to be 3 hours with one person every day explaining the system. When we work smarter, not harder, we're dedicating our time to respond to messages and to guide you. Our dedication, we're doing our marketing every day, and we're dedicating our time to guide you. Okay, do this, do that, but you have to follow the steps. You have to be coachable. You
Yeah.
have to be coachable. So you have to show that dedication to, okay, I want to start my business. I'm gonna start showing up, and from the beginning, I'm gonna do follow that step, and I'm gonna dedicate my time to do what I have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Andrea, this is something very important that people don't seem to understand. This is not a job. This is a business. If you don't run your business, if you don't show up for your business, you're not going to see results.
Hmm.
You have to really be dedicated. Like, I have a full-time job. I work as a teacher assistant, but every day after I get off, I come straight to this computer and I start working. I have lives, I have meetings. I'm always working on my self-development. Why? Because I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to see results. I believe in this business and I know for a fact that it works. But you have to put in the work. You can't expect for this business to run if you don't show up. Nobody's going to do it for you. You're the one, you're the owner. You decide the time that you invest in this business. It doesn't matter if you do it day or night. You have to show up. Whenever you have the free time, whatever free time you have to make sure that you show up. That's what dedication is about. Being there, just doing it day after day. And don't give up on it. Believe me, it works. You will see results as long as you keep working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll save for that one. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Consistency. So it's kind of like the same thing that we've been talking about. Yeah. Um, so should we move on to the next one, or you
Yeah,
guys
I think so.
go?
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, so growth, I think here is for like in terms of development. So um, to to be a business owner, you need to keep growing, you need to keep learning. So either like getting books, to keep working on your mind, because I think one of the important things on the business is the mindset, which we're going to be talking on another topic, because that will be one topic for the entire life. So mindset is one of the things, like it will help you with growth. So that's including, like um, all the other things that we talk about: resilience, being perseverant, like keep motivated. So, like reading books that keep your mind expanding, be able to overcome any obstacles that comes to your life, learning also about the all the different technologies that comes in, like there's so many applications that they come. So learning about that will help you with your business. um, Keep with the updating on the training. Even though we have the training tab, we also have a tab that is the training updates. So keep checking on the training updates to check all the updates on the training, because um, like for example, like if we talk about Facebook, there's changes on Facebook all the time. Like even if you're watching on your personal profile, sometimes it changes, or other social media platforms. So keep updating with what's going on in the social media platform, what's going on with the around you, like even in the world, in the community, because all those things has to do with your business. So you gotta be learning, constantly learning. That's the key, constantly learning, like never stop learning, because that's the only way that you can grow as a person, grow as a business owner. So yeah, that's what I want to say. You guys want to add?
Yes, self growth is my favorite thing in this business because there's so much opportunity to grow. Like personally, you keep growing because when you start doing the training, believe me, even if you're tech savvy, you're gonna learn new things every day. And learning for me is like what is it, like food for my brain, because it makes me feel so good every time I learn something different. Like here lately I've been learning something new every day because I'm surrounded with the right people, the people that want to help me, and they're showing me something different. And two of them happen to be here with me, and I'm so happy for this business because I met different people, but my biggest connections are with Sandy and Andrea, and I always I always text them like, "Hey, how's it going? How are you doing?" and all that, and just from there we start like a long conversation. I start with a hi, and we end up like talking for at least 30 minutes to an hour, just back and forth. And with Sandy, we even connect. She's like, "Okay, I'll send you a Zoom link, and we'll talk." But we're not talking, we're showing or talking about things that we want to learn, things that are going to make a difference in our business. So we're making a connection, we're having this great relationship, but at the same time we're learning things. So growth is huge, and you have to be open-minded, guys. This is a big thing. You need an open mind, because otherwise you're not going to learn, you're not going to keep up with the business. Like, if you are not the type of person that likes to be coachable, that you don't want to be around people that is going to teach you things all the time, and you're like, oh, here she goes, she's going to show me something different today, then maybe this business is not for you. But if you love learning and you love just being surrounded with great people, this is the business for you. Believe me, you are never going to regret it.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely what both of you said. Growth is something very, very big. And to me, because I was already an entrepreneur, I already had that business mindset. But for a lot of people that have never been in a business, you see their growth. You see their growth because you see how their mindset starts changing little by little. You start seeing it because yes, you have an employee, there's an employee mindset, and there's a business person mindset. And I'm not talking here about money, guys, because I there's a post that I saw about poor mindset and rich mindset. We're not talking about just, like I said, money. We're talking about mentality, your mindset. So growth is very, very big in all areas, in personal, because you hear stories from people, and just like we said earlier, I'm like, I can't complain. I
Mhm.
thought I was having a rough life, and I thought I was going through stuff. And you see some people that we all started this business for different reasons. One of
Mhm.
my reasons was because, like I said, I was already an entrepreneur. And I was like, I want to do something from home, not even an online business. In my mind was not an online business. I want to do something from home because, and a lot of people have different streams of income now. My husband and I love traveling. We have several businesses. So yeah, sometimes we have good income coming in, but our expenses are very high. Like, you guys have no idea. The business expenses can be very high. Not with this digital business, but a brick and mortar business, the expenses can be very high. So sometimes, even though you get good income, it may be that some months is not enough to cover all your expenses. So I had the option of starting this business or not starting this business. I started it because I was like, I want an extra stream of income of something that I can do from home. I want to keep traveling. And I was like, this business like checked all the boxes that I could do, like, oh, I can work from anywhere, I can do it from home. I don't have to, it's to me, the investment of this business is nothing, guys. Nothing compared, like saying, again, coming from a background of a business owner, to me is like, this is nothing. Again, for some people it may seem like a lot, but I see it as nothing. And not because I have the money, because I've said it before, we have a lot of business debt with our other businesses. It's not because of the money, it's because of my mindset. It's like, okay, to me, this is what we invest here is nothing. But I've heard stories from people that they're like, they started this business because they had no choice, that this was the only opportunity that they saw where they could invest so little and start the business. And their growth has been like people that you can tell that they're still shy, like they had no money. Like some people, like they borrowed from their family, they were selling stuff. Some people sold furniture, and you have seen their growth, and my growth is like, I'm humble because, like, to see that people, have been like, have gone through so much, and they did their business because this was their only option. They had family members that were sick, and they couldn't go out to even if they wanted to work for someone else, they couldn't do that because they have to be for their family, the whole day. And to me, it's like my growth, emotionally, and it's like, oh my God, I'm like, I'm so blessed, I'm so blessed. And hear all these stories from these people, and some people that are doing pretty well financially also, when they share their struggles, I'm like, oh my God. And I'm here complaining again. We go again, like, people that have struggled, that they're like, oh, I struggled for 5 years, and I struggled for 10 years. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how were you able to do that? And some people say, like, oh, I struggled for 6 months. And then we're thinking, well, 6 months is nothing, And me coming from a business mindset, and that it took us a long time, to bring our other business, like, kind of stable. To me, it's like, 6 months is nothing. Why are you complaining? So, and we sometimes we tend to judge people, but, like, again, we do not know until we hear their story. So for me, that growth has been like priceless. And the people that you meet, like Isabel says, we get very, very close, and talking to people who understand what you're going through, like, oh, I'm having this struggle. Because sometimes other people, no matter how you tell them, what you tell them, like, one of the things that pisses me off is when people tell me, and a lot of people tell me, oh, you guys have a lot of money. And that really pisses me off. I'm like, well, you don't have a business. You don't know the struggles that I go through. And they don't even know if I have money or not. You guys understand. So talking to people that really understand what you're going through, it's like, what a relief. Because sometimes, like many people say it, sometimes people don't even need advice. Sometimes you just need somebody that can listen to you.
Mhm.
So, and we have all that here. So, like, the growth is like, oh my God, so in meeting people from everywhere, especially when we love traveling, it's like, oh, I know this person, that lives in this state, or I know this person that lives in this country, and it's very exciting.
Yeah.
So the growth is like, it's like so much in a lot of different areas. Even as an entrepreneur, I've learned a lot about marketing. That I'm using the marketing skills for other businesses as well. And even if you don't have another business, you can start a new business. With the marketing skills that you get from here. I had one person that contacted me once, and he was like, I'm okay with my business. I'm thinking about joining your business just to learn about the marketing skills. And I was like, yeah, you can do that too. Because, like I
Yeah.
said, the investment is not, like, again, for me, it's not that high. So you are gonna end up paying more if you get a class for marketing. And it's gonna be, usually those classes are just for, like, for a limited period of time. With us, you are on this forever. And you get those weekly masterminds, and it's free.
Yeah.
It's funny that you said that, Andrea, about all the people with a business, established traditional business, joining the digital business, because a lot of people join the digital business just because they want to try it, they want to learn something. But at the end, they see the benefits that we have in this business. And if they are successful in the business, they're not going to give up, or they're not going to stop doing the digital business. They're going to start doing the other business that takes their time, takes their money, because they have to pay, monthly fees for this and for that and for that. And then this digital business, it gives you the time. The flexibility is huge, because you don't have that when you have a traditional business. So, yes, a lot of people with a business will join us, and at the end, I think most of them have decided to either just do the digital or keep doing both, and earn money in both. But something else that you said that caught my attention was, that you get mad when people think or tell you that you must have a lot of money just because you have a business. And for some reason, people always think that, oh, they're so lucky, they have that, and they just have it because they're lucky, but they don't know the work that you put in. Like, a lot of people don't know all the work that we're putting in this business. Like, every day, like I said, after I do my regular job, I come in here and I work for hours, and yes, I'm putting my work, and I know it's going to happen. I'm going to be very successful in this business. I'm going to make a lot of money. And a lot of my family that think I'm wasting my time right now and don't see the hard work that I'm putting in, they're going to think the same way that some of the people that you mentioned think about you. Oh, she has a lot of money just because she is lucky. And there's no such thing as lucky. There's work that you put in. When you want to have success in life, you have to put in work. Nothing happens overnight, and nothing happens just because, one day you had a dream and the next day it became real. That doesn't exist. You have to put in the work. And yes, some people, the people that are not willing to do it, they're always going to think that it happens because we're lucky.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and now that you're mentioning that a lot of people think that you're wasting your time, right? With our other business, but that's most of it. It's again, that's what sometimes it's like, it's because it's a nine-line business. Because when we had our dealership, it took us almost 3 years, like I said, for me to quit. And it was because they were closing that company down. It took us almost 3 years. But we didn't hear the same things that I hear now that I'm doing this digital business, because people are used to that. People are used to the struggles of a traditional business, of a brick and mortar, and they have no idea how much more money we have to spend. And this one, like I said, if I want to promote and spend, I'm promoting 1 month, I spend money. If I don't want to do it, I don't spend a cent. I could go a month without spending a cent and still promoting and still doing these interviews and still doing these videos. In our other business, that is not possible.
Mhm.
And it took us 3 years, and people were not telling us, oh, you're wasting your time. But with this business, I've had the same thing with you, that you, Isabel. I was like 3 months into the business, 3 months or 6 months, I don't remember. And they were like, are you getting results? And I'm like, what? I'm still taking that training. I'm still learning. And I'm like, why weren't you guys saying that with our other business? It's again, unfortunately, yes, online businesses are getting very popular, but people still don't get used to that. It takes time, just like most businesses do. We have other businesses that we started. We have another one that we started last year and another one that we started 2 years ago. We're still not stable in those businesses. We're still working on those. We're still like seeing a lot of struggles. We're still having to put a lot of money in. And that's why it makes me mad when people are like, you have a lot of money. We may have a lot of money sometimes or some months, but believe me, all that money goes out. Like most of that money goes out the way that it came in. And how about the bad months? But it's just mindset, again, mindset, because people don't know the struggles that you go through, and all the work that you put in. But an online business, that's even worse with a lot of people. So it's just, again, mindset.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we have arrived to the end of our life today. So if you guys want to follow us on our pages, Andrea, do you want to mention your how they can find you on your Facebook?
Oh, yeah.
Your
So
name?
www.andrea-vasquez.com.
Okay, that's your website, right? But on
Oh, that's
Facebook.
my website, right? Facebook. You know what? Never mind, because I still don't know how they can find me on my Facebook.
Or maybe
See,
by
guys,
your name
I'm
they
not
can
tech
find you
savvy.
probably.
Huh?
Maybe by your name, like if they Google your name, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Just Andrea Vasquez. Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah. So whoever want to find out, like the Facebook page is on the top. So if you want to follow us there, and you want to continue watching all the other lives that we have done. And then if you want to learn more about the business, you can register on the website on the screen with your name and phone number. Sorry, no phone number, email address. um, and then you will get an invitation for a free webinar. So you will learn how the business works, and also you're gonna hear other business owners' testimonials in the community doing the business. Okay,
Yes.
so thank you very much, everyone, for watching the live. For those who
Thank
watch
you.
and they comment today, and for those watching the replay, thank you very much. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Isabel, and
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
Thank
much.
everyone.
you.
Until
Thank
Bye,
you,
next
guys.
time for
everyone.
the next episode of Latin Voice. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.